Big, big weekend for DC, big weekend for James Gunn, big weekend for superhero movies in general. James Gunn calls claim that Superman must make 700 million to break even utter nonsense in latest budget battle. Thank you for checking out this video. I really do appreciate it. Smash that like button, help YouTube say, hey, people want to see this. Subscribe to the channel as we continue to grow. This is a big deal. Why is this a big deal? Because DC already being rebooted, the Snyder verse, whatever you want to call it, Zack Snyder's attempt at all of this did not go over well. He got fired. They hired James Gunn to do this. And so a lot is riding on this because if Superman is an absolute bust, we may not see any more of these movies for quite a while, or at the very least, we will not see it with James Gunn. So James Gunn calls claim that Superman must make 700 million to break even utter nonsense in latest budget battle. But is it? It is it. Here are a couple of numbers, but first we'll get this from James. Is there something riding on it? Yeah, but it's not as big as people make it out to be, Gunn said. They hear these numbers that the movie's only going to be successful if it makes 700 million or something, and it's just complete and utter nonsense. It doesn't need to be as big of a situation as people are saying. Now, he may very well, with that last statement, not be talking about whether it needs to make money or not, for DC to continue or for James Gunn to continue. But I just want to talk about we've got two really, really different numbers. DC Studios is saying 225 million, and they're saying the marketing budget around 2. Okay. But this has been confirmed that they filed a $363.8 million budget with the Ohio state government. That is a matter of public record. Now, it was done to qualify for tax incentives and so forth. So that may reduce what the budget number is, but it would be shocking if it reduced it all the way to 225, which is what DC Studios says. So now let's look at this. Let's go with their number, 225 million. Now, for those of you that don't know, and I many listening probably do, there's two kind of rough ways of doing it. If you have the production budget and that's all you have, you 3x it to get a number that roughly means break even. If you have the marketing to go with it, you add the marketing and the production budget together and you double it, basically saying that in general, a marketing budget is about half of the production budget. Now, this is saying marketing may add another 200 million, which would make it higher. But let's say the only number we have is 225 million production budget, and that is correct. So we would triple it. That's 675 million. So that's right about that $700 million number that James Gunn says they don't need. Now, of course, if the marketing is 200, now you've got 425. You double that, you're talking about 850 million. If this 363.8 is correct, I mean, even if it got reduced with the tax incentives down to 300, you triple that and you're looking at 900 million. If the marketing really is 200 and you've got the 300 and the 2, you're looking at a billion. So it's a wide range, obviously, based on which number you're using, but we're still talking about 700 million to over $1 billion possibly for Superman to break even. Now, to that point about those numbers and whether that could happen, James Gunn Superman could lose to Man of Steel in opening weekend box office projections. Man of Steel did 128.7 domestic only. Now, if we're talking about inflation, we're running that up to 174, almost 175 million dollars, 174.5 million in 2025 dollars. Now, according to forecasting from Box Office Pro, and it's been all over the map. I did a video last week about the lower end. It's been reduced a lot, then it's gone back up. Expected to open between 115 and 135. And again, it says comparable to Man of Steel, but then you factor in the um the inflation, and then also I think that was they include the Thursday numbers now, which they didn't do at the time. It's interesting because then we also have this. Superman box office predictions all over the place. Like the reviews have absolutely been all over the place. I think it's we're in such a weird place with movie reviews now that you can't. I mean, people are always going to debate. That's always been the fun, and everyone's watched The Big Bang Theory, right? But it's from a different place now. If you don't like this, then oh, you have to do it because you're a grifter or it's political. And if you do like it, you're a shill and you're getting paid and you like the politics of it or whatever it may be. And it's never just about the movie anymore, unfortunately. But by the way, the thing I just showed you was July 9th. This was also July 9th, which is absolutely crazy. But here we got Deadline and THR saying it's currently tracking anywhere to open 100 to 130 million. Was as high as 135 at one point, and here again, it was back in June. It was as low as 90. Now pre-sales are about 20 million. I saw something that said it did 22.5 million yesterday, which is ahead of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which opened to 118.4 million. So it could be right in line with that. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 got good word of mouth and continued to grow and did well, whereas in the opposite of that is that puts the pre-sale lower than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which opened on only 106, and we know that was an absolute disaster and lost a lot of money from Marvel. But again, word of mouth, like it says here, since GOTG 3 was a good movie, more people turned out during the opening weekend. Likewise, Quantumania sucked, so fewer people showed up once the reactions hit the net. Now, like it says here, Rotten Tomatoes currently at 86%, was as high as 91% at time. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 actually had a lower score. As you can see, Quantumania was all the way down at 46%. And so here's where we have it right now. I think this is yesterday. No, this is yesterday, July 10th. 82% reviews, 95% 2,500 plus verified ratings. The fans are absolutely loving this Superman. So it's going to be interesting to see how it ends up doing opening weekend and then what the drop off is. As we know, in general, these superhero movies, big budget, to be fair, big budget action movies in general have a big drop off. So it'll be interesting to see what that drop off is for the second week. Does it have the legs to get to a number that turns a profit? And by the way, I did also see something that said it's estimated to get 200 million global box office this weekend, which is actually not very good. As we know, Jurassic World did $318 million worldwide. So Superman doing only 200 would not be a very good number. And of course, so much is riding on this because it's not a one-off. It's not even a, well, we want to do a Superman trilogy. This is about rebooting the entire DC Justice League franchise and giving it legs with James Gunn. So there is a lot riding on. Now, my guess is even if it loses money, but it's close. It does well where it's more the box office is good. It was just too big of a budget. That's what hurt it, as opposed to, a bad box office. I think they continue. I don't think that they would bail out on that point. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out this video. Please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content as we keep growing out. And I will talk to you in the next video.